Hello everyone, my name is Spencer.
I'm Belen.
This is Belen, and we're so happy you're joining us for the Art of Living Center, Canada. We're just waiting a few moments until we reach 6 o'clock, and we have reached 6 o'clock. So teachers with the Art of Living Foundation, and we're here really to let you know about this beautiful and wonderful opportunity to meet a sage of wisdom, a global humanitarian and ambassador of peace.
Shri Shri Ravi Shankar.
His name is Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, that's right. So if you have any questions, if there's, I see a few thumbs up, so we like that. Bring your thumbs up, and the hearts are very welcome. Lots of smiles on our end, that's for sure. So if you have any questions about the visit, or you have any questions about Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, we love to answer them live. That's why we do these live sessions, so we can connect with you and let us know, anything that you'd like to know about this really unique and special opportunity that's coming to us in just a few weeks now. So we thought we would begin just by sharing a little bit about the visit. His Holiness Shri Shri Ravi Shankar will be visiting our International Art of Living Center coming this July 9th to 16th. We have a number of programs that are going to be offered while you're staying at the ashram, at our International Art of Living Center. The Sanskrit word, of course, for that is ashram. It means place of rest. It also means your home. And this is really a very unique opportunity to spend with really a master of the mind, someone that not only is sought after the world over for his wisdom about life and the mind, but also sought after for his personal connection with each one of us. I remember one time, you go to our international center and you'll see I've had the good fortune to travel a little bit and follow Shri Shri different parts of the world. And one thing I've noticed is that wherever he goes, there's a crowd. So wherever he goes, there's a crowd. There's so many people around, and especially when you go to India, which is the birthplace of a lot of this knowledge and meditation and yoga, it's very difficult to approach him. There's thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people around him. Even if you go to Europe now, many thousands of people come to see him. And Canada is really one of the rare places that we can spend time with him, and you can ask him questions, you can go on walks with him.
Actually, can I mention something? He actually says, I like going to Canada. This is a vacation for me, being in Canada. And having the opportunity to spend those days in that space with him when he's usually on a hectic schedule, solving world conflicts, and just being able to go for walks and visit the organic garden that we have, or go for a paddle on the lake with him. We have a beautiful boat with 2 swans, and Shri loves going for the boat ride in the evenings.
Swanee G. The boat's called Swanee G.
Oh, really, is it? And it's just such a magical experience, such a blessing to be able to have this place. It's such a magical place surrounded by 5 lakes. So you're completely immersed in nature, and everyone there is on the same wavelength, right? We just want to be silent and quiet, look within, and find that bubbling enthusiasm and peace that we all have that sometimes becomes overshaded and shadowed by all the to-do list that we have in our run-to-run day.
Mm-hmm. So I see Shreya Shah has joined us. She's busy organizing everything at the ashram for us. Thank you so much, Shreya.
Hi, Shreya.
This is her idea to do this Facebook Live, so she's doing so much great work along with our whole ashram staff that's really preparing the International Art of Living Center.
Actually, now that you say that word again, ashram, I remember the first time I heard it from Sri Sri. He was saying, you could come to the ashram and give me all your problems, give me all the heaviness, all the burdens in your life. The only condition is that you can't take them back with you. You have to leave them here. And it's such a beautiful, being there in that space where he just takes care of everything. And it's interesting because I'm sure the Art of Living crowd could relate to what we're talking about, but I'm sure there's a few new folks there as well. And it's just so beautiful to be able to be taught this knowledge by a living master, because this tradition comes from thousands of years back, and it's such a different taste if you actually get a book and you start reading it, and it's a bit outdated, but when you actually get to learn it by osmosis, by someone that lives in it 100%, power of that is, I have no words to describe it. And he is a master of teaching us how to honor every moment in our life.
Very true.
And actually, the founder of yoga, the grandfather of yoga, Patanjali, he defined yoga as a continuous practice without pause with honor. So when we have this capacity, this skill to start honoring every moment of our life, it becomes so magical. And being in the presence of Sri Sri just shows you how that unfolds, because he's completely inspiring every one of us that are there. And it's just incredible how even nature responds to it. I remember the first time he was coming, I was at the German center, and he was coming, and we were also expectant, and then suddenly there was a big shift in nature. Suddenly all the birds started chirping, and they were coming close, and there was a little breeze of wind, and all the trees were moving around, kind of like saying hello. And whoop, he pops in. But everything just became so bubbly and alive, and there was this sense of full expression of life, and that is what an enlightened master brings to our life.
It's very true. So I just see that Lise Murray, you've shared our video. Thank you so much. You're so excited about coming to the ashram. We're looking forward to seeing you too.
Hi, Nicolas. We'll see you in a month.
Nicolas is here. Dardo. Hola, Dardo. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And Canada is one of the rare places where actually you can have a very intimate moment with Sri Sri. You can meet him personally. And you go anywhere and see him, and there's these crowds of people, and you might think that, okay, well, how is he going to notice me? How can I, how does it really matter? It's just him and this big crowd. But the relationship is not him and the crowd. It's just him and you, one-on-one. I remember I was guiding some yoga at our international center one time, and there's a big crowd there, and he came up to lead a meditation. And just before he begun, I asked him if he needed anything. And he looked me straight in the eye, and he said, only oh, that is the relationship he has, and that is the potential of that relationship. In life we have coaches for many things. You have a coach for your piano practice and learning the guitar, or a tutor for school. But what about life? Something as complex and diverse and intricate and complicated as our life, it would really make sense to have a very knowledgeable, wise coach to guide us through this existence.
I want to say hi to Pierre, And to Kaushik.
Hi Pierre, hi Kaushik, so happy you could join us. Pierre, of course, is the president of Art of Living, and he's also the director of our International Art of Living Center. He has many, many stories, and I know hopefully we'll be able to hear from him and at our International Center about those stories. One that comes to my mind that really touched me is one thing at the International Center. You never know what's going to happen. I remember I was teaching a program, our youth program, one day, and someone came up to the place I was teaching and they said, "Oh, Sri, he wants to speak with you." And I thought, wow, I've only maybe said hi and looked in his eyes a few times. I've never really had a conversation, and now he wants to speak to me. Wonderful. So I went to his little house. It's called a coutier. And I got there, his secretary and one of the senior teachers was there. And they said, Sri would like you to go with him to Germany. So I'd never been to Germany. I'd always wanted to go. So I said, yes, definitely. I'll join him in a couple weeks. I'll go back to my job. I'll ask my boss permission. In about 2 weeks, I can join him. So after about 5 seconds, they kind of looked a little bit, bewildered, and they said, no, not 2 weeks, this afternoon. So Sri definitely, he wastes no time. And so
He's honoring the present moment, as we just spoke about.
Isn't it? So that moment I was on a plane with him. And it's interesting because earlier on that week, I had this desire that I really wanted to go swimming with him. I love swimming. I'm an avid swimmer. I love to be in the water. And I said, this is something I would like to share with him. And I remember when I went back home to get all my things for the flight to Germany, it was, end of March. So there's snow on the ground everywhere. I packed all my stuff very quickly. I ran down the stairs and I thought to myself, I need my bathing suit. I had this thought, get your bathing suit. I thought, what am I going to use my bathing suit for? Anyway, I went back up the stairs. I grabbed the bathing suit. I went down the stairs, caught the flight. We landed in Germany. And originally, the first time I asked Sri if I could go for a swim with him was at our International Center. And didn't work so well. He didn't go for it. But we got off the plane, and just as we were leaving the airport to get into the car, I had all the bags. I was carrying all the bags, and he popped his head back into the airport. He said, "Did you bring your bathing suit?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Get it out." And we spent the entire afternoon talking, meditating, going for a nice swim. And no matter how small or how great that desire, that longing you have for the deepest knowledge, the greatest experience, he's really there for you. He's going to provide it. You take one step with an enlightened master and he will take 10 towards you. But it does take a little bit of effort on your part. And the stronger the longing that we have for that knowledge, for that wisdom, for that experience, for really the presence of that kind of a coach, that kind of a spiritual enlightened master and teacher and mentor in our life, the stronger that you could say that opportunity, the faster that opportunity will come to you. So that one step, I just want to finish this one thing.
I'm getting very enthusiastic here.
So that one thing, that one step of you just coming to the International Center and taking a silence program, taking the happiness program for the first time, that one step will just bring you so much beyond all your expectations. And I really do wish that once you take the program, when you're at the center, please do come to us. Tell us how it's going. If you're on a silence program, don't tell us how it's going.
You can write it.
Or you can just tell us at the end. And really do share with us, because this is my experience, is that when you take that step, the coach, the spiritual master, will take 10 steps towards you.
And I just wanted to add, he's coming in such a special moment. This is so it's called Guru Purnima, and it's the moon. It's a full moon that celebrates and honors the teachers. So it's not only your teacher at school. It starts with your first teacher, that for most of us has been our mother, and your father, your siblings, your friends, and for the most fortunate of us, a spiritual teacher, like Sri Sri himself. And it's so beautiful because we have also been teachers to people around us, either by teaching what is positive and uplifting and what is not life-supporting as well. So this is such a special time to be with him and to be able to honor that unconditional love that a teacher has for his students. It's a love that takes you out of the logic, it takes you out of the reasoning, it just brings you back to the heart. And it feels so fulfilling. It just fills you with so much joy and so much gratitude. Sometimes we lose scope of how much we have in our life. And we get caught up in the small things of our day, and suddenly these small things that are pretty insignificant, they are overruling our life. And when we get to step into this dimension of something bigger, it's just so fascinating, right? This remembrance of knowing, okay, we're not going to be here forever, and how do we make every moment as sacred as possible? How do we honor our life truly? And it's just so special. I remember the first time I got to meet Sri Sri was in Argentina. I'm from Argentina. There's a few of my amigos argentinos. I'll speak in Spanish a bit later, or maybe later on during this week. So he came in 2012 to Argentina, and it was a couple of years back that I had taken my first course, and I was completely in love with him. It was just so fascinating, all the techniques that I have learned in my courses, and there's such an uplifting community in the art of living with all these social service projects that we do and the friends that you make, because it's all about human values and how to support each other to keep our smile and stay happy and healthy, and at the end of the day, that's what we all want. So he was coming in 2012. I was extremely excited to meet him, and when he got here, I was sharing this yesterday in a satsang, in a getting together that we had in the center in Toronto. It was just full. The whole city was crowded and packed up because all the people that had taken courses with him and had this love and this sense of wanting to honor his presence, they were all here, gathered together to come and welcome him. And all the news channels were broadcasting how the main avenues were all completely cut off because there was so much traffic. And it was just such a sublime experience. And I wanted to get closer to him and be able to talk with him. And it was just the first glance. He was coming out of his plane, and the first glance, it was so profound. Such a fulfilling sensation that just touched my heart. And instantly there was something there happening that I had never experienced before in my life. And after that, I just wanted to approach him and say, how could I be your student? Right? How could I learn more from you? How could I be closer to you? I've personally been practicing yoga for 17 years now. I started when I was 14. And of course there's the physical aspect of the taking care of the body to yoga, but there's much more to it as well. And I was looking for that extra, and that's what I found in the art of living, the true philosophy of yoga. And yoga is basically uniting all these scattered pieces of our existence. And there was at one point, I started when I was 14, my mind was completely scattered. I was so hyperactive and so many things were going on in my life. sort of stage of so many changes.
We can all relate, huh?
So many changes. So how to bring harmony to all of that, and to truly be able to enjoy life, because life is not about survival, it's about honoring the beauty and the magic of it. So yeah, I had this question that I wanted to tell him. How could I be closer to you? How could I be your student? And I never got to. I actually had many opportunities, but when I was close, there was something in me that I would become completely silent, and I was just so caught up in the moment of experiencing this sense of time, frameless, no time, no space. It's just a different dimension. And then when he left, I thought, oh my, I lost my opportunity, and I didn't ask him. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to India. I'm going to go visit him at the retreat center in India. And I booked my ticket, and then a friend of mine, he's a full-time teacher in Argentina, he says, oh, so you signed up for TTC? I'm like, what? No. Yeah. Sure, she said that you're doing TTC. I'm like, oh, okay. So he answered my question without even asking it, right? And that's the connection, that deep and genuine connection that the teacher has with you when you actually do that first step that Spencer was mentioning, right? You take that first step and you say, okay, I want this connection, and then there's such a vast and profound experience.
And it's interesting when you are in the presence of a master like this, it is really remarkable the transformation that takes place, and you really have to, really so many wishes that people have become fulfilled actually, just being in that presence. I'll give you a small example. In 2006, we celebrated our 25th anniversary of Art of Living, and it was in Bangalore, India, and it was my first time to India, and I was very lucky. There was only one day that I spent mostly on the toilet. Other than that, it was okay.
Too much information.
And it's interesting because I remember we had this grand, remarkable festival, Silver Jubilee. There was so many thousands of performers and people on stage presenting, and I just felt such a belongingness with the whole world being at this place with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. And I had a thought in my mind that I would love to be a part of hosting the ceremony. This thought came in my mind, and I just dropped it. There's so many people there, and there's so many. I'm not from India, so it just is not likely actually. And obviously the festival passed. So be careful what you wish for. 10 years later, I was washing pots and pans in our Indian International Center in Bangalore, just outside of Bangalore, 21 Kanakapura Road, if anyone's interested. And I was covered in this chana dal and rice because I was washing the pots and pans, soaking wet. And someone said that Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, he was actually going to meet the Canadians and the Americans up at the Viksha Lakshmi Mandap, one of our buildings there. So I had a decision. Either I see Gurudev soaking wet and covered in dal, Indian lentils, or I don't see him and I go home and shower. Well, I think the decision was very simple. I slid my way full of greasy dal and lentils up to where he was, and on my way up there, before he arrived, someone said, "Oh well, are you going to the meeting of the presenters, the hosts?" And I said, "What do you mean? I have no idea about that." No, I don't think it's. I think you're mistaking me for someone else. And he said, "No. Gurudev said your name. The Swamis and the Rishis are there, and they're going to be presenting, and you're also going to be one of the hosts." And I said, okay, this has got to be some kind of joke, So I started laughing. He said, no, it's no joke.
I think we all felt as bewildered when we heard your voice on the microphone with 2.75 million people.
Yeah, so I went up, and we rehearsed for 2-3 days, and we got up there, and I can tell you one thing: to see that sea of people from all kinds of different countries and nationalities and cultures, and maybe different ideas, different thoughts, different foods, different ways of thinking, different religions, different political affiliations, but just all coming together in celebration of our diversity. And in a world where we're getting so pulled apart by our differences, this is an enlightened master that is really bringing everyone together from all walks of life, and in meditation, and in peace. And I think it's one of the most joyful, the happiest moments I've had in my life, are those moments that I've spent with him. And particularly, I have a very fond affiliation with our Canadian International Center.
So do I. I'm Argentine, and I'm still here in Canada.
So
imagine.
I love all our centers, but this is my home. This is my home, and just with all the meditation and his presence there, as soon as you come on the property, it's like, finally I'm home.
There's this sense of relief. Sometimes we're not aware of how much we're holding on to and how much tension that creates in our system. And not only physical tension, but the tension that most bothers is the background noise, right, in the head. And it's so amazing. Every time you're in his presence, there's no background noise. It's just, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
And this place, oh my goodness. I actually took my first, so we have different programs in the Art of Living if you're new to it. One of the introductory programs is called the Happiness Program. And basically it's called the Happiness Program because it withholds all the tools that will definitely provide a long-term sustainable happiness.
That's for sure.
And you don't have to go anywhere. Sometimes we say, okay, I'll wait for those 10 days that I have off to go on vacations and I'll be happy. And no, this is something that you do every day that kindles that happiness that comes from inside, and it's bubbly and contagious. So that's one of the programs. We'll be hosting it during his visit. And then we have a meditation program where you get initiated with your personal meditation technique. And another program is, it's an advanced program, and it's called The Art of Silence. And it's basically, giving ourselves a break from all the chattering that we do continuously. We have no awareness of how much energy, how much of our vital energy is invested in communication. Right? So it's just bringing the senses to a rest, to very much replenish from the inside. And so I took my first 10-day advanced silence course, 2024, at our International Retreat Center with Pierre. I think he's still watching. And it was just such an amazing experience. That has been one of the biggest turning points in my life. There is something so special to a place when it's been cultivating this energy of practices, enlightened awareness practices like yoga and meditation and breath work, where you're really diving deep within for so many years. How many years does the Art of Living Center have in Canada?
Many years.
Since 1991? No, or so.
Many years, many years.
It has
30 years, I think.
It has a pretty interesting trajectory. So when you're soaked and immersed in a space like this, it just naturally happens without that much effort. Sometimes it takes us a lot of effort to be able to calm down. Right? And the environment is definitely something that will have an effect upon us. So I won't say much more. I hope you get to experience it yourself and have a taste of what this environment has to provide for you and what the presence of Shri Shri, Enlightened Master, does to you. It's kind of like the soul longing for truth, the soul longing for a genuine smile, right? The soul longing for recognition. And these are all things that, at least myself, I can talk for myself, have experienced in this presence.
Yeah, what do you really want in your life? You know, what is it that you really want? You know, beyond all those, you know, fickle little things here and there, what is it we really want? We really want love. We really want happiness, isn't it? And I'm telling you, sustainable happiness, and to find and reconnect with that, your inner nature, that blossoming, beautiful, enthusiastic, happy, loving, compassionate self is the gift that you get by coming to the International Center and spending time with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. So we have reached the end of our time.
Oh, I just want to say one more thing. I'm very happy that many of my friends from Latin America are coming. So thank you for coming. If you're from Latin America and you're doubting or you have questions or concerns, we'll have another Facebook Live session this week in Spanish. And if you're in Canada or up north, what are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the opportunity. Look, so many people are coming from so far. And it really is a unique opportunity to spend time with them. Trust us when we say there's no other place in the world that you'll have this one-on-one connection with him. That you'll be able to go on these walks with him and you know, he asks you, oh, and what's this? And he looks at the how do you call this, asparagus, and oh, and what's that? That's kale, and what's that? Oh, those are potatoes. He's onto everything. And then boat rides on the lake, and if you like nature, you will be extremely happy there. There's 5 lakes surrounding the center, so you can pick your lake and go for a swim to one each day. And just being in this uplifting presence and being able to connect with people that are genuinely seeking beyond what is tangible and will decay, right? We really are a one world family, and it's beautiful to be able to share and feel natural and accept it in a very healthy environment.
So just come. Just come. We're waiting for you to help so you feel at home. If you have any questions or there's anything that's standing in your way, you send us the obstacle and we will help you overcome it.
I'm guessing you might have one question. So where's the information? How do I sign up? So for that question, we do have your answer. You can go to our global website, artofliving.org, and on there's a little magnifying glass, you call it? The search. You could just go to Canada, and on your home page for Canada, you'll see a banner, and it says "Celebrate the Fullness from Within." So you could click on that banner, and it'll give you all the information of the courses that we're offering. There's youth courses as well, so this is a beautiful family program to do. You could come with your children. They'll be well taken care of. They'll have a lot of fun. Healthy fun, healthy food. There's nothing to think about or worry about when you're here. We're taking very good care of you. And it's such an experience of the senses and beyond the senses, because trust me when I say the food is delicious. Right?
That's for sure.
You could experience Ayurvedic treatment. So Ayurveda is the medicinal aspect of the tradition of yoga. And it's actually called the science of life. And the treatments are fabulous. You can treat yourself with some nice massages, and yeah, we have a beautiful Ayurveda center there, educational and wellness center. So yeah, if you have any questions, please write us a line. We'll be very happy to get back to you. And thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Spencer, for sharing your stories.
Thank you, such nice stories. And thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you, Mika.
Hola, Mika.
Thank you, Sakive, Julia, Anand, Saurabh,
So we have
Erica,
people from Argentina,
Anna.
from India, from Canada. Anna's here. Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you.